Hello everyone. Again I am here with a new topic, analytical chemistry. Very important topic. Every year near about 6 to 7 marks questions are framed from this topic, practical chemistry. Even this year also 7 to 8 marks questions were framed. So let's start. Today I will explain how to identify basic radical using two reagents, sodium hydroxide and ammonium hydroxide. First question, why we use sodium and ammonium hydroxide? Because when they are added to the solution of metallic salt, metallic hydroxide formed gets precipitated, and these metallic hydroxides are of different color and different nature. With the help of this, we can identify which metallic radical is present in the given unknown salt. Okay, so that's why we use sodium and ammonium hydroxide in the lab for identification of basic radicals. Okay, so I will explain today how to identify 6 metallic radicals which are in your syllabus. Okay, first we'll start with 3: calcium, zinc and lead. Okay, so what is the process? First, we will take whatever salt, we will add distilled water to the salt to prepare a clear solution. Okay, this is the first process. We will prepare clear solution of given unknown salt. Then divide the solution into two parts. In one part we will add sodium hydroxide. In second part we will add ammonium hydroxide. How we will add? First dropwise, then in excess. Same way ammonium hydroxide also. First we will add a little amount, then in excess, and then by observation of precipitate, color of the precipitate and nature of the precipitate, we can find out which metallic radical is present in the given unknown salt. Okay, so first condition here, we should prepare clear solution, then only precipitate will be formed. Okay, so first we will see how calcium salt react with sodium hydroxide. When sodium hydroxide is added to the salt solution of calcium, we will see a white precipitate is obtained, which remain insoluble in excess. Clear? Calcium react with sodium hydroxide, calcium salt, to give white precipitate of calcium hydroxide, which remain insoluble in excess amount of sodium hydroxide. Okay, next in another part we will add ammonium hydroxide. We will see there is no visible change. Okay, no precipitate is formed when calcium salt solution react with ammonium hydroxide. Actually ammonium hydroxide is very weak alkali. Here concentration of hydroxyl ion is very low. That's why no precipitate is formed when calcium salt solution react with ammonium hydroxide. Okay, then second, zinc. We will take zinc salt, any zinc salt. It can be zinc sulfate, zinc chloride, zinc carbonate, any zinc sulfate. So when any zinc salt solution, if we add sodium hydroxide, we will see a white precipitate of zinc hydroxide is formed, which dissolve in excess. Zinc hydroxide formed in a small amount of NaOH will dissolve in excess to form sodium zincate. Why? Zinc is amphoteric in nature. Hence, it will dissolve in excess sodium hydroxide to give sodium zincate. So, here what is the color of the precipitate? White precipitate, which dissolve in excess. Then how it react with ammonium hydroxide. When ammonium hydroxide is added to zinc salt solution, here also a small amount, it will form a white precipitate of zinc hydroxide. Okay, again if we add excess amount of ammonium hydroxide, zinc hydroxide will dissolve in ammonium hydroxide also, it will dissolve to give zinc tetraamine complex salt it will give. So here what is the observation? In both the reagent sodium hydroxide and ammonium hydroxide, zinc dissolve. Okay, zinc hydroxide dissolve in both the reagents sodium hydroxide as well as in ammonium hydroxide. Then we will come to lead. Lead salt solution also when react with sodium hydroxide, zinc is all like zinc, lead is also amphoteric in nature. So lead also will form a white precipitate of lead hydroxide which dissolve in excess to give sodium plumbate. Okay, so both zinc and lead are amphoteric in nature, so both will dissolve in excess amount of sodium hydroxide to give soluble zincate and plumbate. Zinc will give sodium zincate and lead will give sodium plumbate. Okay, then how lead salt solution react with ammonium hydroxide? With a small amount of ammonium hydroxide, lead will form white precipitate of lead hydroxide which will remain insoluble in excess. Is it clear? So now try to identify out of 3, calcium, zinc and lead. If you are asked to distinguish among them, how you will do this one? Calcium and zinc we can identify by using sodium hydroxide. Calcium hydroxide will remain insoluble in sodium hydroxide, whereas either zinc or lead, both hydroxide will dissolve in sodium hydroxide. So we can easily distinguish between calcium and zinc or calcium and lead. But if it is asked to distinguish between zinc and lead, you cannot use sodium hydroxide, because in sodium hydroxide both are soluble, both are amphoteric, both are soluble. So which reagent we will use to distinguish between zinc and lead? Ammonium hydroxide. Ammonium hydroxide only. Zinc hydroxide will dissolve in excess amount of ammonium hydroxide. Lead hydroxide will remain insoluble. Okay, so this is the 3 metallic salt and what is the observation that I had explained. Now colored one, that's very easy to identify, but you should remember the color. First we will take copper. Mostly copper salts are blue in color, but copper carbonate, if you remember, what is the color of copper carbonate? Bluish green color, copper carbonate. Okay, so how to identify copper radical? By using sodium hydroxide and ammonium hydroxide. Okay, copper salt solution when react with sodium hydroxide, it will form a pale blue precipitate of copper hydroxide which remains insoluble in excess. Clear? Copper salt solution react with sodium hydroxide to give a pale blue PPT of copper hydroxide which remains insoluble in excess, whereas with ammonium hydroxide, a small amount it will give a pale blue precipitate of copper hydroxide which dissolve in excess to give inky blue color, copper tetraamine copper complex. Okay, so here what is the observation of copper? Copper will remain insoluble in NaOH and dissolve in ammonium hydroxide. What is the color of copper hydroxide? Different color you must remember, that's very important. Copper hydroxide is pale blue in color. When it dissolve in ammonium hydroxide, it will give inky blue color of copper tetraamine. Okay, then last two, ferrous and ferric. Ferrous react with sodium as well as with ammonium hydroxide to give a dirty green precipitate which remains insoluble in axis. Same observation in both the cases you will see. Whether it react with sodium hydroxide or ammonium hydroxide, it will give same observation, that is a dirty green precipitate which remained insoluble. And last one, ferric. Ferric salt solution when react with sodium hydroxide or ammonium hydroxide, it also will give same observation, that is reddish brown precipitate which remains insoluble in axis. Is it clear? Now just see, in sodium hydroxide solution, how many hydroxides are soluble? Zinc hydroxide and lead hydroxide. Why? Because both are amphoteric in nature. Whereas in ammonium hydroxide you will see which are soluble, zinc hydroxide as well as copper hydroxide.